Hey, what's up? This is Video Bob, and I'm out here with my tour bus. This is a 1990 Prevost XL. But really, it doesn't really matter what kind of bus or RV you have. This tip is for the people out there that travel in their RVs, their buses, motorhome, whatever, what have you. Now, here's my bay. I've got heat transfer water heater. This allows you to take the heat coming off of the motor and heat the water. That's a nice big tank. That comes in real handy. And I've also got some water filters down here you can see that filter the incoming water and the pump water. And that's kind of important. Also, you'll see down here on the ground that whenever I'm importing water, I also use another filter. You want to filter your water because of a couple of reasons. You want to try to get out as much of the calcium and the lime in the water as possible. Now, when you stop at truck stops, a lot of the time when you're out in the boondocks, you're getting well water, believe it or not, because they don't go through a lot of water. A lot of truckers don't use a lot of water. But a lot of Loves and Pilots and just general truck stops, they'll sometimes have water out there by the islands where you're filling up, and you can fill up your water, which is generally going to be on your left side, on your driver's side, off to the back. That's usually where things are docked. You know, this is where your electricity is, your water, your dump valves and things. So I recommend having a couple of little tools in your toolbox for water survival. Get some expanding hoses. Now, you want to have a water safe, this white hose. These are water safe hoses, but if you're using the filters, that really won't matter. I like to keep a couple of the expanding hoses because they're real small. You don't want to use high pressure anyway. And by the way, I want to mention something about those hoses. Those expanding hoses build up high pressure. When you have like 100 feet of them, and it's really like a 1/4 inch little latex type tube. And when it expands, it builds up a tremendous amount of pressure. So make sure that if you're using one of those, you always use a pressure regulator. I have one down there. You can pick them up at Walmart for a couple of bucks, less than 10 bucks, and use a pressure regulator so you don't blow out your pipes, especially on the older RVs. They have an older plastic PVC in them that's known to burst. Now, luckily for me, most of my pipes were done in copper the right way because it's Prevost. So I wanted to show you a couple of tricks. Here's something that you're gonna wanna get. You see this little key? This is the little key. They call it a gardener's key or a faucet lock key. I don't know the exact name of it, but most businesses will have their faucet locked. This thing will not only open the little door, but it'll turn on the faucet. Now, you can get one of these for a couple of bucks on eBay, or you can even get one of these. This is the 4-way. It has every type of possible connection on it. So let's say you're at a mall or you're near a store. You can usually drive around the back. You'll find a faucet, but it's usually locked. This is how you can steal some water. Let me show you another way you can steal some water. This is getting serious now. Here we go. You can pick one of these up for like 20 bucks. This is a fire hydrant adapter that goes to a water hose. This will screw onto the cap of a fire hydrant, and then you can hook up a water hose. Now, you definitely want to make sure you have a water regulator if you're going to use this thing, because this thing's going to put out some high pressure. You don't want to turn it on all the way. Make sure you carry some pliers, a monkey wrench, or even if just a regular, adjustable wrench like that. You want to always have one of those handy, because a lot of times the handle's broken off the water and you need to just turn the knob. I recently docked over at a fairly nice park over at Circus in Las Vegas, and I got one of the premium spots that would cost extra. And I went out there, and the gosh darn knob is broken off the water pipe. If I hadn't had this thing handy, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Something else you should pick up is, sorry for me bending over, get some of these. They're like $1. They're like 97 cents at Walmart. These are just little seals that you put on your hose and this and that here and there. And it allows you to, when you have a leak and you burn through these and they fall off all the time, get some of those. Also, get yourself one of these caps. You see this cap I put on the end of the hose? Get yourself a cap and keep your hose connection capped off. This prevents back leaking, and it also prevents bugs or dirt or whatever from getting into your water supply. You really don't want that. A couple of mud daubers go in there and it can screw up your whole day because you'll never be able to get that out. So these are just a couple of tips on water survival when you're out on your RV, your Prevost, it doesn't matter what you have. It really doesn't matter if it's a tour bus or not. But when you're going to go off for a couple of weeks and you need water, right? Sometimes it's hard to get it, especially when you're out in places like LA or Atlanta or Chicago. These places are a little bit more protective because they have a high homeless population. They don't want people going over there and taking a shower on the side of the building, so they'll put one of these locks on. It's not so much that they care about the water, it's that they just don't want to deal with that nuisance, especially when you're doing it at the middle of the night. I tell you, there's times I've stopped in the middle of nowhere, middle of the night, went to a truck stop or building or whatever it was. And this thing holds like 150 gallons of water. Once you're filled up, take a shower, wash the dishes, do your laundry. I have a washer dryer on here. This water makes the difference. And this makes it easy to get. All right, so there you go. There's a couple of tips from Video Bob, and thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my videos. I know everybody always says that, but you know, if you're into this kind of thing, subscribe, and whenever I have cool tips like this, I'll turn you on. Hey man, thanks for watching.